First of all, on that incident with the Muslim terrorist pirates who attacked an American ship and took an American captain hostage. If you'll notice, once again, the Muslim-loving, Jew-hating news media refuses to refer to the so-called pirates as Muslims. They're pirates, like Johnny Depp, or Captain Cook, or Captain Hook, or Captain Cook, or whatever. They're pirates. And they refuse to refer to them as Muslims. These are Muslim terrorists. These are actions being carried out by Muslim terrorists who are supported by the entire Muslim terrorist establishment in Somalia and in other Muslim countries. And in fact, Muslim terrorism in Somalia is financed by Saudi Arabia. But the Jew-hating, America-hating, Muslim-loving news media in the United States and in the Western world refuse to report the facts to the people and refuse to tell the people what's really going on. And this is a pattern, and we predicted this was going to happen, if you recall. We saw this happen with the Muslim terrorist attack in Mumbai, where the Muslim terrorists brutally murdered innocent people in Mumbai in India, and the media referred to them as gunmen or fighters or activists, never referred to them as Muslims. You had huge front-page stories in the New York Nazi Times and the Washington Nazi Post. Huge broadcasts on ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN. It was the number one story. And never did the word Muslim or Islam come into the picture, even though these were Muslim terrorists, Muslim Nazi terrorists from Pakistan, from Muslim terrorist Pakistan. And you never saw that. You never even got a hint of that in all of the stories on the attack in Mumbai. And you saw the same thing happen here with the story about this kidnapping and about the attack on this U.S. ship by Muslim Nazi terrorists. These are not just some anonymous pirates. These are Muslim Nazi terrorists. Once again, you see how Islamic petrodollar influence has complete control over the news media. And by the way, this is true on Fox too. The Fox network, the number 2 investor in Fox is the Saudi terrorist Nazi Prince Al-Walid. May his name and memory be obliterated. Prince Al-Walid that justified the 9/11 attack against the United States. Prince Al-Walid who finances Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda terrorism. Saudi Prince Al-Walid is the second biggest investor in Fox. So there is no truthful reporting that is going on here. And no one tells the American people the truth, or the people of Israel the truth, or the people of the rest of the world the truth. No one tells them the truth. And that's why it's so important that JTF succeed, because we are the voice of truth. We are the voice, sometimes the lone voice in the wilderness, crying out and warning, but we are the voice of truth. And if we weren't here, there would be no voice telling you these things. And that's why it's essential that we become a mass movement. If we were a mass movement, the Jew-hating, America-hating, Muslim-loving news media would never be able to get away with this, despite the fact that Muslim petrodollars now control the news media. Remember, Muslim terrorist sheiks have bought up the majority of the Associated Press, which is the number 1 news wire, the majority of Reuters, the majority of United Press International. All 3 of the world's biggest English language news wires are owned by Muslim terrorist sheiks from the Persian Gulf. And you see that same pernicious influence because of our deadly, insane, suicidal addiction to Muslim terrorist oil. If we don't get off of oil, and this is something Rush Limbaugh and the other pseudo-conservatives and big phonies in the Republican Party are not doing anything about, because they're in bed with the big oil companies, if we don't get off of big oil, and we don't get off of oil, period, if we don't eliminate oil as a valuable commodity, we will never defeat the scourge of Islamic terrorism. As long as oil remains valuable, the Muslim terrorists will have the power to wage war against the West, to endanger the West, and to eventually murder many millions of innocent people. God forbid. So I wanted to make that very important point, because this is a pattern that we see, and this is why it's essential that we develop an alternative media that will serve as a voice of truth.